All right, let's get straight into it. Today, we are breaking down the single biggest shakeup in UK construction history, the Building Safety Act. And let me be clear, this is not just another update to the rulebook, it is a full-blown revolution. Surviving it and even thriving in it means you have to understand it inside and out. So, let's get you prepared. I want to start with a very real question, because honestly, the stakes have never been higher. Could your next project be stopped dead in its tracks before you even break ground? Because under these new rules, non-compliance isn't just a minor setback or a slap on the wrist, it's a full stop. And here's why. The new Building Safety Regulator, the BSR, has been given some serious power. We're talking unlimited fines, the ability to halt your project indefinitely. And yes, even prison sentences. The whole mindset of, we'll sort it out later, is officially over. Gone. So, to help you make sense of this new world, here's our game plan. First, we'll dig into those new powers. Then, we'll cover the 3 critical stop-and-go gateways you have to pass. We'll talk about the building's digital DNA, the new roles and responsibilities, and finally, how you can actually turn all of this into a win. Okay, first things first, you have to understand that this is so much more than just another piece of legislation. It's a complete top-to-bottom cultural shift for the entire industry. It's designed to weave safety into the very fabric of a building's life, from the first sketch to the final day. Now, the roots of this revolution, of course, go back to the Grenfell Tower tragedy. The Building a Safer Future report that followed by Dame Judith Hackett basically said the old system was broken and called for a complete overhaul. That report led directly to this act becoming law in 2022. This wasn't a minor tweak, it was a total rewrite. And this quote from Dame Judith really gets to the core of it. The whole idea is to stop treating buildings like a random collection of parts. Instead, we have to see them for what they are: complex, interconnected systems, where one person's action or inaction can affect the entire structure's safety. So who's really in the hot seat here? Well, the Act's main focus is on what it calls a higher risk building, or an HRB. And the definition is super clear. If your building is at least 18 meters high, or has 7 or more stories, and it contains at least 2 homes, then congratulations, it's an HRB. Remember these 2 numbers: 18 meters, 7 stories. Just burn that into your brain. This is the threshold. If your project hits either of those numbers, you are officially playing by a whole new set of very strict rules. Now let's talk about the process. This brings us to the 3 stop-and-go gateways. I want you to think of these as mandatory red light checkpoints for your project. You cannot proceed, you do not pass go, until the Building Safety Regulator gives you the green light. Okay, so Gateway 1 happens way back at the planning stage. You have to prove you've baked fire safety into your thinking from day 1. Then you've got Gateway 2, and this is the big one. No shovels in the ground, nothing until the BSR has signed off on your full detailed design. And Gateway 3? Nobody gets the keys, nobody moves in until the BSR confirms the building was built exactly as planned. Each one is a hard stop, no exceptions. So, how do you get through those gateways? Well, you're going to need what the Act calls the building's digital DNA. This is the famous golden thread of information, and it is a concept you absolutely have to get right. So what is it? The golden thread is basically the single source of truth for your building. It's a live, digital record. Think of it as the building's logbook that tracks every key decision, every material used, and every safety check, starting from the design phase and lasting for the building's entire life. And the rules for this are really specific. This isn't just a suggestion. The golden thread must be electronic, it must be accurate and constantly updated, and it has to be kept in a secure system that's easy for anyone with the right clearance to access. And this is a total game changer. The old way of doing things, with messy email chains, disorganized PDFs, information scattered all over the place, that's not just bad practice anymore. It is now a direct legal liability. The new world demands a single, secure, digital source of truth. Of course, to make all this work, you need clear accountability. The Act introduces new, legally defined roles to make sure responsibility isn't some vague concept. It's now assigned to specific people and organizations. During the design and build phase, you've got 3 main duty holders. First, the client, the one paying for the work. Then, the principal designer, who's in charge of the design phase. And finally, the principal contractor, who's in charge of the actual construction. Each one now has a legal duty to ensure everything is compliant and safe. But it doesn't stop there. Once the building is finished and people move in, the responsibility is handed over to the accountable person, or AP. This is usually the building owner or management company, and they are legally on the hook for managing the building's safety for its entire occupied life. And their job is huge. They have to actively prevent safety risks, keep that golden thread updated, register the building with the BSR, and, this one is critical, they must have a system to actually listen to and act on safety concerns from residents. And here's the new baseline for everyone involved in these projects, no matter their role. Competence must be proven, not just assumed. You can't just say you're qualified anymore. You have to demonstrate it. New industry standards like PAS 8671 and 8672 are becoming the way you prove you have the right skills and knowledge for the job. So, with all that said, how in the world do you navigate this new era? It's really easy to look at all these rules and see a massive roadblock, but for the people and companies who get this right, it can actually become a huge competitive advantage. Look, the big takeaway here is this. The Building Safety Act is a cultural revolution. It demands a totally new way of thinking. You've got to be digital first, you've got to be transparent, and you have to be absolutely relentless about safety and data, from start to finish. When you think about managing that golden thread, proving competence, passing through every gateway, you're talking about a staggering amount of data. Trying to do all that with spreadsheets and emails is not just a headache, it's a massive risk. Your team really needs a digital Copilot to help navigate all this complexity. For more videos diving deep into the technical requirements of building regulations, visit the Building Regulations Copilot YouTube channel. And for any building regulations related queries, head over to buildingregulationscopilot.com.